You know, one thing as men, one thing we think about, and one thing that's hardwired in our biology is to procreate. You know, a lot of men, some men, want to have something of a family. You want to have something of a good wife in your life, and you want to have children that look like you, that have your legacy. Not another man's child, but your children. But of course, you know, a lot of y'all in the manosphere know that this system we live in is not really designed for a righteous man to prosper and for a righteous man to have a upright and good family in this system, because it's against righteousness. It's against everything that the Most High tells us we should be doing. It's not really good for a man to engage in what we know as court marriage today, which we know is not biblical. We know it ain't got nothing to do with the way the Most High tell people to get married. You know, man is a man going into marriage is a man going into a woman, you know. But they tell you that you got to go down to the court system and all this and that, and a bunch of foolishness that you can't find in the book. But we know that it really don't benefit us today as men. But yet you still have a desire to want a good woman in your life and to want children in your life. At least a lot of us do anyway. But see, even the Bible tells us about that, because this system we live in, this America that we live in, we know it's not going to be around too much longer. Okay? We know this is a wicked place. So I'm going to look at something in the Bible to see what the Most High tell us about. To everything there's a season. And think about raising a family in the last days. I'm in the book of Ecclesiastes. I'm going to read chapter 3, 1 to down about 8. Let's check this out. To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to pluck up that which is planted. A time to kill, and a time to heal. A time to break down, a time to build up. You see that? It says a time to kill and a time to heal. So it's saying it's a time and place in everything, right? Let's keep going. A time to weep, a time to laugh, a time to mourn, a time to dance, a time to cast away stones, and a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace, a time to refrain from embracing. All right? See, it's a time to embrace, but a time to refrain from embracing. You see that? You check that out? A time to get and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to cast away. You see, it's breaking it down in every way. A time to rend, a time to sow, a time to keep silent, and a time to speak. A time to love and a time to hate. Did you see that? Now this is what the Bible says. So you won't hear this in your Sunday morning Christian school, or even a lot of these so-called Hebrew Israelites won't be preaching like this. It say a time to love and a time to hate, a time to war and a time of peace. All right. Now it says there, plain and simple, that's a time for everything under the sun. It's a time to do everything. And once again, when you think about the environment we live in, it's now the best time to raise a family. Now, some of us already have families, and we have to do the best we can to raise them up in the Most High and see that our sons and daughters do the right thing. But for you men that don't have families, this is something you have to think about. You have to think about this. Keep this in mind. So it says there's a time and a season for everything. And it's now the best time to raise a family in this wicked system that we live in, where they're trying to push every abomination on you as a righteous man. It's now the good time. And as wicked and bullshit as these women is this the time to be looking for a wife? If you can't travel out of the country, especially if you have to stay here in the United States, is this really the time to be looking for that kind of stuff? I'm going to go one more place. Go to one more place. I'm going to read Jeremiah. This is Jeremiah 6, chapter 16. I'm going to read 4 verses, 1 through 4. Let's get some more on it. The word of Yahweh came also unto me, saying, Thou shalt not take thee a wife, neither shalt thou have sons and daughters in this place. For therefore says Yahweh concerning the sons and concerning the daughters that are born in this place, and concerning their mothers that bear them, and concerning their fathers that begot them in this land. Now, what we're reading about here, Jeremiah is talking about the coming of Nebuchadnezzar in Babylon. But yet, when you read the Bible, a lot of times the Bible have twofold prophecies. What goes for the past could go for the future as well. You have to look at that. Now, he said concerning their mothers that bear them, and concerning their fathers that begot them in this land. Check this out. They shall die a grievous death. They shall not be lamented, Neither shall they be buried, but they shall be as dung upon the face of the earth, and they shall be consumed by the sword, and by famine, and their carcasses shall be meat for the fowls of heaven, and for the beasts of the earth. The Most High told them plain and simple not to have children in this place, because this place is about to be destroyed. And I say to you brothers out there, that the same thing applies to this place. We know this place is about to be destroyed. We know this place is going to end up like Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay? But keeping that in mind, is this the best time to raise a family? Now, I'm not saying don't, but I'm saying just think about it with 2 or 3 different angles. Think about everything in particular. Think about what we got coming upon this earth and coming upon this, particularly in this country. These are things that men got to think about when raising a family. Okay? Just wanted to read that real quick and give y'all something to think about. You know, get your wheels spinning and see what the Most High say about that place. Babylon was coming, and this place as well, this new Babylon we live in. This place is going to be destroyed. So with all that said, think about everything that you have. Think about every angle that you have and keep all that in mind. Because we know as a righteous man, this is Satan's system. And everything in this system is against righteousness. Okay? And particularly dealing with these women. These women are wicked as hell, man. You know? Finding a good woman is like finding a needle in a haystack. You know? Most of the time men end up getting their children taken away from them. They end up getting divorced and, getting taken for what they have. So all these things are things to consider. It's a time in this season for everything. And given in this country, given in this last days and times, with the judgment about to come upon this place, is it the best time to raise a family? Let's give you something to think about, man. May the Most High bless y'all. Y'all willing, I'll see y'all next time.